that was an awful Arsenal performance against the Leeds side that looked, as soon as they had the ball, as if they weren't really challenged by the quality of the Arsenal players, who should obviously be a division above. Now, you know, as Russ has said, Arsenal, my team, I'm probably a bit too critical, a bit too honest about them. But I have said that they do represent value to take on. You know, I think I said that there are 2 or 3 games coming up just before Christmas. I think if you backed their opposition in all 3 games, you'd end up with profit. Well, Fulham eventually got that profit in that final of those 3 games. And I would say again that with the defensive injuries that Arsenal have, it's still time to take them on, even though the prices are creeping a lot closer to evens. If that game was played on the first day of the season, Arsenal would be about 4-7, 2-1 on. So you have to bear that in mind and say that you're slowly giving away value in Arsenal as the bookmakers are getting more clued up to the fact that they're not as good as people say, but there's still value there with Swansea, I would say.
Interesting, though, because aren't Swansea the kind of team they'll just outplay? Flash, am I crazy? I don't like taking on Arsenal in this game.
No way. I mean, I'm Arsenal here because Swansea are the poor man's Arsenal, and they're doing so well at their keep ball, but they'll come up against basically the masters. Now, probably outside of Tottenham at the moment, then Arsenal.
They're not the masters. They're not the masters. Everyone thinks they are the masters, and people watch 10 minutes on Match of the Day, but they're not. I mean, I've never had to. I must be the only fan in the world who comes onto TV and actually says, "No, my team are not good."
I like it.
They're not. They're not at all. And Flash, if you watch 90 minutes, if you watch the whole of this season, every 90 minutes that Arsenal played this season, and even watch them from a punting point of view and suggest that you're on them at short prices, they're awful. They give the ball away. They don't defend well. They've conceded 14 goals from individual errors this season. 4 own goals and 10 where they've given the ball away on the edge of the area. They're awful. Arsene Wenger isn't as good a manager as people say, and Arsenal are not as good a team as people say.
That's a bit harsh.
He's not. He's not. He really isn't. And I've been saying this.
Manager, as people say. He's
not, Flash.
revolutionised the whole of the British game.
Well, that's an absolute myth. They would have had to have changed it at some point anyway. And
But
all
they
he did was bring in a
Arsene
couple of. He brought in a couple of reasonably good ideas about diet. He gets credited with signing great players. He doesn't. He doesn't have a good strike rate on those. All the ones that he found were already in great position. People say he found Cesc Fabregas. He was the under-17 World Cup Player of the Year. That's not finding someone. He was already at Barcelona. People say he found Patrick Vieira. He was at AC Milan, who at the time were the best team in the world. He couldn't get in the team. Okay. He's had to go and source those players. But if you look at some of the poor players in the Championship and League One and League Two, and even in our division, that Arsene Wenger has shone on a bright new stage with the reserves and Carling Cup, and say, where does he find them from? Well, these guys are plying their trade 4 divisions below.
Alan, you know we're recording this, don't you?
Exactly. Well, I mean, I've been banging on about it for a long time, and it's nothing to do with the lack of trophies there, but people totally overrate Arsene Wenger, and they totally overrate Arsenal.